WBSM. I'm so very, very grateful. Joining me is the very talented Steve Young, a UK-based singer-songwriter, session guitarist, entertainer, teacher, and so much more. Steve has launched his first solo EP, Little Things, and will be treated to his sensational songs with a live performance in just a moment. And accompanying Steve is gifted singer and actress Maddy Jarmon, who I understand is from Texas and who has appeared on TV series like Believe, as well as Access Hollywood, has sung alongside some of Broadway's greatest stars. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is such a personal pleasure to welcome Steve and Maddy. Hello there. Come on over close.
You never told me all those things, Maddy.
You're just finding out?
You've been hustling me.
Didn't want to scare you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, you're both celebrities.
Oh, wow.
How lovely to have you both here. I mean that.
Good morning, and thanks for having us on the show.
Absolutely a pleasure. We are going to be sending this out via the webcam, so anybody who'd like to see how beautiful and handsome you are. Yeah. Hello there. Nice to see you.
That's good.
We are broadcasting between Providence and Cape Cod on New Bedford airwaves, and New Bedford is named after Bedford.
I used to live in Bedford.
Did you? Well, here we go. We start off with a connection.
I know.
Isn't that wonderful?
Yeah. I actually just moved out of Bedford a couple of months ago, but I lived there for about 2 years.
That is so great. Welcome. This is an exciting part of your ascending career.
Yes, it's very exciting. It's very terrifying. I've been on many radio shows as a guitarist for other people. But to actually just be doing it myself is great. I'm loving it.
Well,
in equal measures of being terrified, I'm loving it.
being a brand new fan, it's about time.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you.
You know, we all have our journeys in life, and yours has now come to this point where you're on your own solo journey.
Yes.
And we wish you the very, very best, Steve. And Maddy, you have been performing for how many years?
Oh, a really, really long time. I did. I started when I was a kid. I did, community theater in Texas.
Where in Texas?
We're in Texas. I lived just north of Dallas. I lived in Frisco and Plano most of my life, and I did Plano Children's Theater growing up, and then I did school choir, and then I started. When I was homeschooled, I did touring shows around Texas, educational shows at kids' schools, and that's where I started. And then I moved to New York and started doing readings for Broadway shows, and I've been doing singer-songwriter stuff out there as well. So
you're sensational.
Oh, thank you.
I saw the YouTube presentation of your version of Over the Rainbow, and it brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, that's very sweet. Thank you.
How did you get rid of the Texas accent? Because Steve didn't get rid of his hometown accent in Bedford.
I didn't grow up in the country really. Frisco was.
Oh, you were an urban Texan.
I was urban Texas.
that makes a difference.
Sometimes it slides out when I'm angry a little bit, but that's the only time I ever have a Texas accent.
So the urban Texans, they polish their boots out there in the Hicks. They just let them
with the rhinestone cowboys.
That's right. Well, this is true.
Okay.
Oh, a wonderful, wonderful experience we're going to have. You just debuted your new songs at the famed Rockwood Music Hall Saturday.
I did.
How was that?
It was brilliant. It was. I just didn't know what to expect. It's a complete accident that I've even come to America to do this. I initially booked this trip just as a break, as a holiday, and then the EP came together really quickly. And I said to Maddy, because Maddy had has a Wednesday night gig she does every week, and I said, do you reckon if I came to America, I could sort of just do a couple of my songs on your gig? And she's like, yeah, no problem. And then and I tweeted that and put it on Facebook, and then people started coming back saying, yeah, but it's a Wednesday night. Why don't you do a weekend one? So I made some investigations, and through a good friend of mine who's from New York, he hooked me up with a gig at the Rockwood. And then that, I don't know, just became my EP launch. And there was people, I had friends come up from Brazil. There's people that came in from Minnesota, people from Baltimore, from Canada. I mean, it was just, it was great. It was really good. I really enjoyed it. I felt so comfortable doing it. And this is something that's new to me, doing my own songs, and I felt really comfortable doing it. So it was a great experience. I'm really glad I did it.
Oh, here too, Rockwood Music Hall, ladies and gentlemen, in New York City, has launched many a career and has welcomed back many established musicians. And so it's a wonderful honor to have you here straight from New York City. And are you all about ready?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? We're going to find out a little bit more about your EP, Little Things. But first, how about treating us to a live performance of whatever you two would like to start off with?
We've got a few lined up for you. So we'll start with the title track of the EP, which is called Little Things. And,
Steve Young and Maddy Jarmon.
I guess it's alright to stop loving me. I guess it's okay to know we used to feel it. Your heart has changed, Mine will always be this way. Can't fight if it's gone, though it's wrong to be here on my own. I will always love your beautiful face. I will always love the crazy things that you say. All the little things you did to get inside my head. There's a million little things that I will never forget. I will never forget. I should have seen it coming when you began to change. The tone of your voice, the wave of your hand. It's when I should have realized that you were over me. Instead of looking back, I should have tried to save all your love for me. I will always love your beautiful face. I will always love the crazy things that you say. All the little things you did to get inside my head. There's a million little things that I will never forget. I will never forget. Oh, I will always love your beautiful face. I will always love the crazy things that you say. All the little things you did to get inside my head. There's a million little things that I will never forget. Oh, no, no. I will always love your beautiful your heart, your soul, your everything. I will always love the crazy things that you say. My breath away. All the little things you did to get inside my head. Little things. Many little things that I will never forget. I will never forget. It's the little things I'll never forget. It's the little things I'll never forget. Oh, it's the little things I'll never forget.
Woo! How beautiful!
Thank you.
Terrific!
Thank you.
Now, a personal story there, perhaps?
Yeah.
Anyone especially who you thought of about her face? Or are there a combination of personal stories combined in that? Or
So my songs are quite direct. I don't think you have to be a rocket scientist to work out what they're about. And yeah, they are about some fairly recent experiences in my life, relationships. I mean, everyone can relate to a breakup song, and you know.
You bet.
But I did find actually that when I was writing the songs, although I had like the initial context of the idea, you know, it was about this situation, you do actually find that you do draw on other experiences, and you find I'm writing a verse and I'm thinking, okay, well, that's about her, and I'm thinking, oh, actually that's about someone completely different. And it just pops into your head. So it's a snapshot of a feeling. I think people sometimes think when you're singing a song it's still an ongoing thing, but a song is a snapshot. It's like a photo. It's an audio photo, and you can't change the lyrics as your life changes. So that's always going to be a moment in time.
I love that, an audio photo, because we have radio photos here. So we now can join them, and we have both. Tell us a little bit about your EP and about some other personal stories or any experiences that went into you writing these songs, Steve.
Well, it all happened very quickly. I've been writing songs for a long time as a co-writer. I've written with Darren Hayes, who was the
Savage
singer
Garden.
from exactly. Yeah, I wrote I co-wrote the opening track on that album, his last album, which was called "Taken by the Sea," which was a great thing for me.
Congratulations!
Because we actually wrote that back in 2008, and it wasn't released until 2012. So it was a long process. But in those kind of 4 years, I also was writing with producers in London, and I ended up writing with lots of artists from all around the world, a lot of Australian artists actually. And I've had co-writes released and played on TV. They've been theme tunes for TV shows, and they've been background music on soap operas and all kinds of things. And then I don't know. I don't know what changed. Obviously, I was going through some situations. My marriage was falling apart, and I was working on cruise ships, Scandinavian cruise ferries, and they're like month-long contracts. So you're stuck on a boat literally for a month.
Right.
So a lot of downtime. It's long, hard set. I mean, it's kind of like 6 hours a night playing, but during the days I was completely free, and I just started writing poems and just started writing how I was feeling about the situation that was going on in my life at the time. And then they just turned into songs really quite quickly. And then I called up my friend Robin, the producer, the guy who produced it, and I just said, look, I hadn't spoken to him for quite a few years. And I said, Robin, I really need a favor for you. I've written these songs and you're probably going to hate them. he's too cool for school. You're probably going to hate them, but I really want to put them out there. And he did, and it was a very quick process. We did all the drums and bass in one day, we did all the guitars in one day, and we did all the vocals in one day. So it was a 3-day process. The
stories, the hooks, the melodies, all yours.
All mine, yeah, all mine.
How absolutely wonderful. Steve made reference to there is a price to pay. Lots of times when you are on the road, when you are an entertainer, when you have to sacrifice so much in your life in order to be present in the public's eye. Maddy, did you find the same thing? Do you find it as an actress, as a vocalist?
I mean, I haven't experienced quite that. I've never been on the road for a long time, and I'm lucky enough to have family very close to me. But it does get lonely sometimes. I guess it does, and those are the times whenever you need to have that therapy of writing, and that's right. That's the time to do it.
Sure.
Yeah,
absolutely. Was that part of the foundation of your new EP, Little Things that have happened to you personally?
Yes. Yes. Although there's a song on there called Little Things. The actual idea of calling the EP was because it literally just started with the tiniest of ideas, and I never thought anything was going to happen. I never thought I was going to finish writing a song, and then I never thought I was going to record it, and then I never thought I was going to release it, and then I never thought I was going to gig it, and it just keeps going and going and going. I'm trying to keep up with myself. It's insane.
We are delighted to welcome UK's Steve Young, along with Maddy Jarmon, from right outside of Dallas. And together, your sound is so unique. It is a sound all of its own.
Thank you.
I have noticed that whenever a talented musician and vocalist deal with other groups, you try and blend in as you have to
Yeah.
in order to become part of their foundation. But your wings have a different wax and feather.
Check that
I
out.
like that. Check that out. Yeah.
You fly on your own. How does one find that uniqueness? I mean, it is very, very hard to be unique in a world that is so filled with commercialism and whatnot. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I didn't know we'd found it until you just told me.
You see? This is, I guess, part of the
Are
journey.
you writing this down?
It's all going.
So our wings are covered in wax.
It's a different kind of wax.
Brilliant.
Before we have you perform another song from Little Things, Steve Young's new solo EP, both of you have met up with and are friends with a superstar of Broadway.
This is true.
This is true. And tell us first of all, I want you to surprise our audience of who this superstar is and how this whole relationship started.
Yeah, well, you will have seen him as the Phantom of the Opera
Absolutely.
on the 25th anniversary DVD.
Mhm.
If you were in London, Toronto, or New York, you will have seen him as Jean Valjean in Les Mis.
Mhm.
He's also been in Miss Saigon, Oklahoma. His name is Ramin Karimloo, and he's Canadian in
Yes.
Canada. How did I meet Ramin? Well, it was through the producer that I was working with. The first time I heard Ramin's name mentioned was I was called into the studio with a guy called Sebastian Isambard, who is a singer from the band Il Divo. And we were asked to write a song for this West End guy. We did write a song and nothing came of that song, but a few months later, I was called back into the studio to put some guitar parts down for an album for this guy, Ramin. And I still didn't know anything about him, hadn't met him. And then I think it was January 2012, I got the phone call, Ramin needs to do a showcase for everybody. Can you put the band together? So, and it had to be a very small acoustic band. I mean, he's used to singing with huge orchestras.
Yes.
So it had to be a small thing. So I had an acoustic guitar myself, bass guitar, drums, and then 2 violins and a cello and a piano player. And we rehearsed, we put this thing together, we did the showcase. So then Ramin and I were then in contact off the back of that. And what actually happened was he asked me for guitar lessons.
How wonderful.
So I started going down to the theatre in London, and when he was kind of getting ready for his show for Les Mis, I'd be in the dressing room giving him guitar lessons. But
Yeah, these are stories we love.
but what happened was the guitar lessons would start with me saying, okay, this is a C major scale, and they'd end with him saying, listen to this song that I want to play. Right? It's just because what people didn't realize about Ramin was he has a very strong passion for country music, bluegrass music. He absolutely loves that kind of stuff. And being a West End superstar, a lot of people weren't really interested, particularly the labels he was involved with and the management he was involved with. They weren't interested in any country connotations. So,
How about you? Are you a country fan?
Well, I'm going to do a song that's going to explain about that today. But basically, probably the first piece of music I ever heard as a child riding in my dad's car would have been something by Johnny Cash. So my entire life I've been brought up on country music. I would never call myself I'm not like a bona fide country music fan. I just appreciate a lot of that type of music. So I was totally on his page when he started playing me these songs. And so what happened was they were basically rehearsals. We didn't realize at the time, but they were basically rehearsals.
Interesting.
So we started putting together these songs, and then he was like, he'd never done it before. He'd never gone out and played as a musician, or he had no clue what to do. So I just kind of booked up a couple of tiny little gigs. I mean, literally tiny little rooms that hold 50 people. And we just started working this stuff. And in the middle of this, we were still touring his album with a 22-piece orchestra, and he was trying to push his songs through, and it was a whole, thing going on. But eventually what happened was we put together the Broadgrass Band.
The Broadgrass Band. I
Which has
love,
had-
love the name, the Broadgrass.
Yeah,
Not bluegrass, folks, but the Broadgrass.
Yeah, Broadway to bluegrass. And
Isn't that great?
we put that band together, and then it's had a lot of lineups. I mean, it's depending on what country we're in, we've had different lineups, but the most gigs we did were in America, and we had a great lineup for the American shows. We also,
Rave reviews too.
yeah, we did. We did a show in LA, and it was awarded best kind of live act by Broadway World, which was interesting because it was our first night. I thought we were a bit ropey, but
You know what? This is interesting because it seems to me, and Maddy, I don't know about your life, but you can sit down and try and make a master plan of what you want in life,
point.
step by step.
absolutely no point.
No.
So
Doesn't work out
your
like that.
successes have been by the seat of your pants.
Connections.
Very
and
serendipitous.
accidental, yeah.
Yours as well?
Oh, yeah.
I love that word, serendipity.
Yeah.
It's a word that crops up a lot, and I love it.
Well, we love you. What would you like to perform? And you as well, Maddy.
Thank you.
What would
Well,
you like to do next?
You can hear something else from the EP, or something new that will probably be on my next EP, or I have this cover that I'd like to do.
Is it my choice?
If you
It is
want.
your choice.
What is the one that reminded you of the country music that you were referring to just a minute ago?
The Johnny Cash one.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, so this is a song. I remember this from as early as I can remember, and I love this song, and I love singing this song. And it's Monday morning, so the chorus is kind of fitting. You know?
Oh,
And I'm sorry if I'm a Brit offending anybody singing Johnny Cash songs on a Monday morning, but I'm going to do it anyway.
UK's Steve Young.
I threw this on Maddy. She didn't know about this one, so you're going to watch this one, I guess.
Yeah, I'm
aren't
gonna
you?
watch it.
Maddy Jarmon watching.
I love this song. I love me and my dad had a whole train thing going on when we were kids, when I was a kid. We were kids together. That would have been silly, wouldn't it? Riding on the city of New Orleans, Illinois Central Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 24 sacks of mail. All along the southbound Odyssey, the train rolls out of Kankakee, moves along past houses, farms, and fields. Passing trains that have no names, switch yards full of old gray men, graveyards of rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing cards with an old man in the club car. Penny a point and no one's keeping score. Hey, now pass that paper bag that holds the bottle. Feel the wheels are rumbling beneath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic cart made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep, rocking to the gentle beat. The rhythm of the rails is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm a train they call the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Nighttime on the city of New Orleans. Changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home, we'll be there by morning. Through the Mississippi darkness rolling onto the sea. And all the towns and people seem to fade into bad dreams. Steel rails, they still ain't heard the news. The conductor sings his songs again. The Passengers, please refrain. The train has got the disappearing railroad blues. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm a train that called the city of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. And I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Steve Young, ladies and gentlemen. UK's Steve Young here with Maddy Jarmon. Steve's brand new EP, Little Things. And it is the little things that matter in life.
It is indeed.
Is there one that you would like to perform from the EP itself? How many songs are on it right
5.
now? There are 5.
5 on there, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
By the way, when were you first aware that you could sing?
Not long ago. I'll tell you, it was out of necessity. I've always worked. I've been playing guitar for 26 years. I've always been a guitarist. I did start singing when I was about 18, 19, and then I convinced myself that singing was a bad idea because I needed to concentrate on my guitar playing. So I just stopped, and so I was always seeking work with singers, and then it just got to the point where I think it was 2004. I was working with bands, and I just thought, if I could just sing, I could just go on my own. I wouldn't have to deal with singers and
those people.
Those people.
Those singers.
And I just thought, so I wrote down a list of 50 songs, and I locked myself away for about 2 months, and I learned them, and then I just came out and started singing them in pubs. And I was pretty ropey for about a year. I was pretty ropey. And then a big thing happened in the UK, and that was they introduced a smoking ban in pubs. And when that happened, I suddenly found I could sing.
Really?
Yeah. Literally within a couple of weeks. It was
met
mad.
One other artist who was huge. We're going back, though, 30 years. A vocalist by the name of Vicky Carr.
Right, okay.
The same thing with Vicky Carr. When I was chatting with her, she said the same exact thing, Steve.
Within a couple of weeks, I had like another octave range, and obviously my voice was getting stronger because I was singing, every week. And I do well over 250 gigs a year, every year.
Wow.
And so that built up the strength of my voice. I wasn't trained. I haven't had a single singing lesson, so I've just learned it the hard way. Okay, that hurt. Don't do that again. And so over a course of about 2 years, I developed my voice, and then, but still, I've always thought of myself as a guitarist, and it wasn't until I was doing gigs and people would come up and say, "Oh, I really love your voice," and I'd be like, "Yeah, but what about the solo I did on Hotel California?" And they'd be like, "Yeah, and I loved your voice." And I'm just like, and it used to annoy me at first. Like, well, I'm a guitar playing. Come on.
I've worked on this for so long.
and then I guess I just had to convince myself that, okay, people keep saying that they like your voice.
So that was the key.
So maybe you can sing.
Not only convincing yourself, but taking that.
I'm still not convinced.
Taking that convincing and adding it to confidence. Now, when I saw you on YouTube, I said, my goodness, here is a rising star.
Oh, that's very sweet.
When did you first learn that you could sing, Maddy?
Well, my dad is a guitarist, and he's a singer as well. So I grew up singing.
It's in the DNA.
It's in the DNA, for sure.
Her dad's awesome.
Yeah, he is. Steve Jarmon, shout out. He's probably listening. But so I started very young, and I didn't start training until I was about 13, because they say that you shouldn't start doing that intensive work on your voice until you reach a certain age, and 13 is for girls apparently. So I started that, and my voice coach actually put me into like classical training. So I started out in opera and competed there, did regional, state, nationals, but it wasn't my passion. I did musical theater, and I've always had like a pop influence in whatever I do. And just recently, in the last year, I started writing my own songs, and I get to play them. I just had my first show with a full band playing all of my originals on this past Wednesday, and it was
how wonderful.
Amazing. It was so much fun.
Can we find it on YouTube, perhaps?
We are working on getting recordings of that.
Right.
It's a very new thing, but yeah.
Maddy, we are looking forward to that. In the meanwhile, ladies and gentlemen, you can find out more about UK's Steve Young. Give us some of that information. Where can we go, and how can we buy your EP? And
okay, well, it's very important that you add UK onto the end of my name, because there are two very famous Steve Youngs in America, I have discovered. One is a football player, and one is a country and western singer. So, in fact, when I first released this EP onto iTunes, it was added to his discography. And,
lucky him.
So I jumped onto iTunes. I was like, yes, I finally got my EP on iTunes. Steve Young, born in Georgia in 1942, and I was like, no. Anyway, and I even wrote to him. And I said, Steve, I'm the other Steve Young. I'm the one from the UK, and I'm really sorry, but apparently you've released an EP called Little Things. I'm sorting it out. He wrote back and said, no problem, Steve. It's all good. Anyway, if you want to find me, Steve Young UK on Facebook and Twitter, and my website, steveyounguk.com.
Right.
At Steve Young UK on Twitter.
Yes.
And /Steve Young UK on Facebook.
And you can go to WBSM.com. We have all the information. All of the social media traffic cops are right there directing us to your doorstop.
Brilliant. Come and say hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
Before we hear another selection, a live performance with Steve Young and Maddy Jarmon, I want to be presumptuous for just a moment, and I would like to ask that you dedicate this next song of your choosing to your dads.
Oh, that means I've got to sing it without bursting into tears.
Oh, good. Good, because you know what? Where would we be? Where would you be? Where, you know, the little things, that's an understatement, of their love and their guidance, and whether they are with us or whether their memories still guide us. I think it's a moment that we honor both your dads.
Yeah, definitely. My dad, he passed 18 years ago, but he was very responsible for putting music into my life. He was a very keen music lover. His brothers are still keen country musicians. Wow, I just totally realized the link there then. Wow.
Yeah.
Good.
It's
Good.
in your DNA.
And,
It is all good.
And my dad played harmonica, and my dad actually used to be a yodel singer.
Oh,
Yodel,
love that.
long before I was born. But he had to, according to my mother, he had to give it up because he had some problems with his voice. But he was actually a Navy officer. He was an officer in the Royal Navy for 22 years. So, yeah.
Yodeling is necessary.
Mhm.
So now I got it. So, which song? Which song? Shall we do? Things are all breakup songs.
These are all breakup songs. These have nothing to do with fathers.
I'm sure my dad would be pretty happy about what's going on right now. So
You should be proud of.
should we do? This is my favorite song from the EP, and it's called Integrity.
Mhm.
And should we do that one?
Yeah,
All right,
absolutely.
cool. All right, for our dads.
For our dads. Love you, Dad.
It's a serious song.
Yes.
We've been here before.
I know.
All this talk about integrity. Don't be selling out. Don't be selling out your soul. Cause when life throws you choices, you've got to see it through, or you will fold. And I'm waiting for a moment. Oh, I'm praying for a better hand. And though it seems like I'm doing nothing right now, babe, it's my only plan. doing the best I can with my own two hands, with my own two hands. I did it all for you, not because you asked me to. It's all I knew. All this talk about integrity, you know it's really about, it's about you and me. And all I have for you is love, which I gave to you so easily. Doing the best I can, my own two hands, my own two hands. Did it all for you, not because you asked me to. It's all I knew. Now it's not enough. I can feel your love. I can feel your love. When I close my eyes, you're always by my side. You're always by my side. All this talk about integrity, don't be selling out. Don't be selling out your soul. 'Cause when life throws you choices, you've got to see it through. Love grows cold. Love grows cold. When 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 love grows cold.
Wow.
Thank you.
There was magic and there was beauty. There was connection. That was sincerely just absolutely awesome.
Thank you.
And folks, you can pick up the EP online. Go to WBSM.com. You're going to love these two songs that were performed, plus 3 others. Before I ask you, can you play another one? And
Yeah, these are for you to.
oh, these are for us
You can do
to
it.
give away?
Yeah, whatever you want to do.
Oh my goodness. We're going to be promoting you for the next week. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're going back to New York, yes?
Yes.
Before you head back to UK.
Correct.
All right. And Maddie, are you staying in New York?
Yeah, I'm in New York.
Okay. Before we ask you to play another selection from Steve Young, Little Things EP, maybe Jathan Fink was very much responsible for this
He made this whole thing happen.
get together. Heather and Jathan, who spoke the world about you both. And I said, how can I? Of course we'll welcome them. What a wonderful soul both are,
Yeah.
you know.
Jathan. You made-
Jathan and Heather, absolutely. Where do you want your careers to go?
I don't have a plan. I'm going to just push this EP as much as I can. See it appears to have legs, as we say. It's
Mhm.
got legs.
Yeah.
And he knows how to use it.
I know it has wings.
It has wax wings.
Maybe you should concentrate on the wings and the hell with the legs.
I don't need legs.
How, Maddie?
I I don't like to make plans either. And I used to be a definite plan maker, and it just doesn't work out that way. And I'm now the person who likes to live in the now and make sure that I am working toward something.
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily know what that is.
I mean, I definitely need to get some kind of backing, because I mean, I've done this all by myself. I don't even have a manager. I'm just doing this myself. So
Oh my goodness.
definitely looking for some kind of backing of some sort, a label or a manager or someone that can help me out.
May I say again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, being presumptuous, your creative genius will be rewarded very soon.
I hope so. That would be nice.
You know, I usually have sonar for these things, and worthy people are the ones who will get these things, and both of you are so worthy in this respect.
We need to just get all these little sound bites, put them in like
No.
you can just shake on.
Put it on your
on the
website.
phone, and just shake it every time you need to hear Phil say
Yes.
something nice.
Your text message.
What else would you like to perform?
Well, there's a particular reason why Maddy is here, apart from all the great backing vocals. But I wrote a duet, and I kind of thought it was a bit of musical theatre. Apparently, according to Maddy, it's not. But
What? I mean,
yeah, when I wrote it, I kind of thought this sounds a bit musical theatre, and
specifically Disney is what you
Disney
said.
was what I said. Yeah, here's a song I wrote for Disney. and so and it was the first song that I sent to Maddy, and I said, look, if I'm coming to New York, would you sing this one song with me? I mean, she's ended up now singing on all the songs, and they sound amazing. But initially, this was the song that I wanted to sing with Maddy, and it's not on the EP, but it's a song called "Hold Me Close," and it's a duet. And I mean, it's kind of heavy, I suppose, but I will try and make it as cheerful as possible.
We always do.
Stop laughing.
Okay. Serious.
Okay, anyway, so this is a duet. It's called Hold Me Close. And yeah, if there's anybody from Disney out there, you can have it.
Enjoy this.
And just remember, you're listening to Steve Young, UK's Steve Young, and Maddy Jarmon.
Last night I heard you crying. I hope it wasn't over me. Don't waste your precious tears. I'm not through with trying. I know I made mistakes and you tried to make me listen, but love ain't a losing game, and there's always room for winners. So hold me close, keep me warm, wrap my heart in those hands of yours. We've got it all, we've got it all. Without you, there is nowhere I belong.
Last night I felt like dying, and I feel so far from you. My tears prove that I really care for you, my darling. I'm done with all this lying to you. I know I should have talked to you, but I thought you wouldn't listen. My love was never meant to fade. My heart had no conditions.
So hold me close, keep me warm, wrap my heart in those hands of yours. We've got it all, we've got it all. Without you, there is nowhere I belong. The time is yet to come, and we need to find those dreams. When we talked and laughed and loved and kissed and swore eternity. So hold me close, keep me warm, wrap my heart in those hands of yours. We've got it all, we've got it all. Without you, there is nowhere I belong. So hold me close, keep me warm, wrap my heart in those hands of yours. We've got it all, we've got it all. Without you, there is nowhere I belong. Without you, there is nowhere I belong.
Oh my goodness. What this the synergy that both of you have makes this a better world. I mean this. It is so beautiful. Love it.
Acidity.
I love it. I could go on and on. However, the window of our first hour is coming to a. Yeah, I know.
Oh, no.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
When do you think you'll add more, or will you add more to your EP and make it a full CD?
Oh, I don't know. I just don't know. I can't decide. I don't know whether an album is a current thing anymore. I've written loads of songs. I've got enough songs for like another 3 EPs, or I could do 2 albums. I'm releasing a Christmas single next week for charity, which is something different.
Really? I'd like to play it on the air, by the way.
The Christmas single?
Yes.
Sure.
Absolutely.
It's the proceeds are going to go to a UK charity called Help for Heroes.
Help for Heroes.
Which is for all our servicemen.
Absolutely. In fact, today we're launching a Ringing of the Bells by the Salvation Army.
Right.
That started in the UK, by the way.
So that's happening next week, and that was just another. I didn't even know about it last week, and now it's happening next week. I only wrote the song a week ago, and it's
amazing. It's how it's done, though.
I'm impatient. I just want to do things like this, but I have plenty of songs. I just want to see what happens with this one. Maybe I'll do an album if I get the right kind of backing behind me. Maybe I'll do another EP and just do the same thing I'm doing now. I really don't know. I'll let you know as soon as I know.
Absolutely. Would love to know. In the few minutes that we have left, if you can feel this radio hug embracing you both.
It's good.
It is all good. What would you like to leave us with?
Okay, this is a song that will definitely be on my next EP.
Okay.
I am aware that the EP is kind of, some of it's a bit downbeat, and so I've made an effort to try and write some upbeat songs. And this is a song about giving new love a chance, despite things that have happened in the past. And it's called "Let Love Begin." You'll find out why we're laughing in a minute. You always cry in the evening. I try to make you smile all day. We do all the things that lovers do, but that don't take your blues away. We struggle through some hard times. We've had a narrow escapes. Walked down that lonely road and found empty space. So have a little heart, have a little faith. I'll promise you the earth if you promise me a way to get into your heart, underneath your skin, so I can rain down my kisses on you, baby, and let my love begin. I know words don't come easy, but you really gotta know to fear the things that let you down will never help our love to grow. And so we're looking to a future that's better than our past. You know I sleep a little sweeter, baby, with you here in my arms. So have a little heart, have a little faith. I promise you the earth if you promise me a way to get into your heart, underneath your skin, so I can rain down my kisses on you, baby, and let my love begin. Cause you are the sun when you shine on me. It all seems so clear. The black clouds disappear. And you, 'cause you have set me free. So have a little heart, have a little faith. I'll promise you the earth if you promise me a way to get into your heart, underneath your skin, so I can rain down my kisses on you, baby, and let my love begin. Let my love begin. Let my love begin. Let my love begin. Let my love begin.
How absolutely beautiful. Steve
Thank you.
Young, Maddy Jarmon. Oh, you know what? I saw something happening here. It's hard to explain. Maybe we'll just have to wait. I can tell you this, folks. The energy in this room is as beautiful as these two wonderful, talented people. UK's Steve Young and Maddy Jarmon.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you both. It has been such a personal pleasure. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you, Phil. Thanks, Jathan, as well.
Yes.
Jathan and Heather, thank you so very, very much. This has been just a wonderful delight. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, go to WBSM.com and we will get you to the right places for a purchase of Steve's EP and also Maddy Jarmon, news and information about Maddy. And perhaps you could, as we have about a minute left, play the last refrain of any song you want, that one or Integrity or Little Things. They were also excellent. You have maybe
Let's do
45 seconds worth.
Wholeheartedly. Fine. Of course. I'm wholeheartedly yours tonight, wholeheartedly falling indeed. I have no regrets on my mind. I'm wholeheartedly yours to keep. Let's do that again. I'm wholeheartedly yours tonight, wholeheartedly falling indeed. I have no regrets on my mind. I'm wholeheartedly yours to keep.
Yeah! Bravo! All the very, very best. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for just a splendid first hour.